but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8".
Canelo Alvarez had previously claimed that he believed Terence Crawford would be an easy opponent to defeat. However, Crawford has now responded.
My arm's longer than his, you know.
The newly crowned world champion was not impressed with Alvarez's comments and made it clear that Canelo might not be as formidable as he thinks.
I think Crawford don't give me wrong. He's a great fighter.
The pound-for-pound king took issue with Canelo Alvarez underestimating his skills and implying that their long-awaited fight would be an easy victory. I've corrected the spelling, grammar, and sentence structure for clarity and flow. Let me know if you need further adjustments.
$2 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
The potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is now more than just talk, thanks to the involvement of the Mexican boxing legend. Crawford, fresh off his latest victory, has made it clear that he's ready to take on Alvarez, but there's a catch: the financial terms need to be right.
Me in my weight class is an easy fight. For me, easy money. So
the super middleweight champion, who holds 3 belts, didn't hold back in discussing the prospect of facing Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's talent, he also expressed strong confidence in his own skills. He stated he'd be willing to fight Crawford if the financial offer was appealing.
I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like.
Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. If the money's right, I'm in, said Alvarez, suggesting that this fight could be a profitable opportunity. This follows Crawford's win over David Benavidez in a controversial decision, which left some fans unimpressed despite the victory.
I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean?
Crawford eventually addressed Canelo's comments about the fight being easy. While measured in his response, he quickly pointed out that Canelo may not be as tough as he thinks.
I believe in my abilities.
I've just been talking, man. Canelo is a big guy, but at the same time, I believe in my skills. He's heavy, but he's not that much bigger. He's 5 feet 8 inches, and I'm 5 feet 8 inches. My arms are longer than his. That fight won't be easy, it'll be a good one, said Crawford.
He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8".
Alvarez, ever the savvy businessman, sees the potential in this matchup, but has made it clear that the financial terms must meet his expectations. Reports suggest that Canelo is asking for a massive payday, around $150 million.
My arm's longer than his. Yeah.
Crawford's team, however, is pushing for a more balanced payout, arguing that Crawford should receive an amount similar to Alvarez's. This bold request comes despite Crawford's relatively limited experience in major high-stakes fights. Recently, Alec, the mastermind behind Riyadh season events, revealed that he made an offer to Alvarez for this mega fight, urging him to accept.
That'll work. Yeah, so if yeah, you're in. So if
both fighters are coming off recent victories. Canelo's win over Jermell Charlo and Crawford's victory over Errol Spence Jr. have only increased the anticipation for a potential showdown. However, the weight division for the fight remains a sticking point. Crawford's most recent bout was at 154 pounds, while Canelo fights at 168 pounds. Nevertheless, Crawford has expressed a willingness to bulk up for the challenge.
Offer, if he is smart, he will accept.
The potential payday is a strong motivator. Who wouldn't consider putting on some extra weight for a multi-million-dollar payday? However, before any of this happens, Canelo must first face a major test against Edgar Berlanga.
Why not? I think Crawford don't get me wrong.
Despite focusing on his own legacy, Crawford weighed in on the upcoming Canelo vs. Berlanga fight. I think Canelo stops Berlanga, Crawford said. Berlanga could be a great champion one day, but right now, Canelo is too much.
If the money is right, I mean.
Interview 14. If Canelo defeats Berlanga and Crawford triumphs in his next fight, a collision course between the two could be set. To make this happen, they'll both need to move up from 154 pounds to 168 pounds.
The heels with this fight, I think Berlanga could be a great,
The potential Canelo vs. Crawford bout would take place at 168 pounds, a weight Crawford would need to move up to. However, Crawford is confident that his skills will be the deciding factor.
And someday I just think
If everything falls into place, I have no doubt that my skills will be enough to overcome Canelo, Crawford said, displaying complete confidence in his ability to defeat the Mexican legend.
Canelo is just too much for him.
Very rarely do we see a man, I know this fight's at 150.
After his win over Errol Spence Jr., which made him the undisputed champion at 147 pounds, Crawford shocked fans by expressing his desire to jump up 3 weight divisions to 168 and challenge Canelo for his world titles. Canelo, however, hasn't shown much interest in the idea, stating that defeating a smaller fighter wouldn't grant him the recognition he seeks.
Canelo, if it happened, would be at 168, go up 2 divisions and win. Why is it different in Terence Crawford's case?
Because skills pay the bill.
Still, Canelo has admitted that money will be a key factor in his decision. He also acknowledged that Crawford presents a tough challenge, particularly with his ability to switch between southpaw and orthodox stances.
Down anymore, but you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me.
Canelo shared his strategy for facing Crawford. The key is patience and working the body. I'll stay patient, prepare like always, and work the body. Everyone targets the head, but it's tough to hit someone like Crawford in the head.
Everybody's gonna say, it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he needs to enjoy his fight.
Meanwhile, the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority hinted that the fight could take place in December or January in the US. Saudi Arabia has become a prominent player in boxing, and Alec, the face of the Riyadh season, is working to make this fight happen.
He deserves it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything, but
Known for arranging high-profile events with the UFC and bringing star-studded guests to boxing, Alec now aims to make the Canelo vs Crawford fight a reality. I'm working to bring Canelo in, but this will be a big fight for Crawford, Alec said. Crawford is also preparing for his upcoming bout with Israel Madrimov in Los Angeles.
I'm the face of boxing, so they make a big deal.
Hey, listen, face of boxing, Mr. Knockout King right here.
Assuming Crawford wins his next fight, is hopeful that a matchup with Canelo will follow. You've got the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world, and you've got the number 1 money man. I never overlook anyone. I've got a fight coming up in August, and that's where my focus is now.
As you guys heard, Gervonta said, I'm the face of boxing.
Canelo showed he's still the best at 168 pounds after defending his titles against Jamie Munguia by unanimous decision. Crawford, who attended the fight, shared his thoughts afterward.
The better be versus Dimitri Bivol winner, and would like to make Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
I thought it was a good fight, Crawford said. Munguia fought hard, but his inexperience showed. He squared up too often, allowing Canelo to counter effectively. Canelo was patient. Alec is also planning a UK vs USA boxing event in December, bringing together a team of British fighters to face American boxers. This is part of Saudi Arabia's broader effort to elevate the sport.
What do you think about that fight in terms of you fighting Canelo? Did you see opportunity for yourself?
Most definitely.
Boxing once dominated global sports, but its appeal has diminished due to pay-per-view exclusivity and the lack of a central governing body. Alec believes the solution lies in reviving the sport with new ideas and fresh opportunities.
That fight in terms of you fighting Canelo, did you see opportunity for yourself?
Most definitely.
The potential Canelo vs Crawford fight is shaping up to be one of the biggest in boxing history. What once seemed impossible is now closer to becoming a reality, with the two fighters on a collision course to meet in the ring.
It was a good fight. Munguia showed his heart, determination. He just wasn't stepping in. Canelo kind of looked like he cared.
Canelo boasts a record of 61 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, while Crawford remains undefeated with 41 wins, including 31 knockouts. Both fighters are riding high after dominant performances in their last bouts.
Number 5, of course, it is the heavyweight.
Oh, no, okay.
Oh, you are in serious.
Oh, no.
You are in serious.
With both fighters in high demand, the anticipation for a showdown is growing. Alec, now a major player in boxing, is working to ensure the fight happens. Interview 30. Alec, who's expanding his influence into American markets, is committed to making the biggest fights happen. He's already planning a Riyadh season event featuring Crawford against Madrimov and has his sights set on the Canelo vs Crawford bout.
Oh, I love the heavyweight. You can add any fighters you want as number 5 heavyweight, not fighter only from Queensberry.
In an interview, Alex said, "I'll offer Canelo what I think is a fair price. If he agrees, we'll finalize everything directly. If he's unreasonable, I'll still ensure Crawford gets a major fight." Alec is no stranger to big matches, having previously arranged the Tyson Fury vs Alexander Usyk bout. Alec is undeterred by Canelo's reported $150 million asking price, stating, "Price tags don't scare me." Crawford, now 36, is eager for the fight and views it as the perfect opportunity to cement his legacy.
He like, man, I'm not giving up. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna keep getting up and I'm gonna keep fighting. So, yeah, he did what he had to do to last the time.
"I know facing Canelo will elevate my reputation and bank account," Crawford said. "I want to create a memory people will talk about for years, and a bank account that will last just as long." Eddie Hearn was asked about Canelo's reluctance to face Crawford, especially if he defeats Berlanga. Canelo isn't afraid of Crawford, but he's concerned about the criticism if he wins, Hearn explained. Hearn added that Canelo prefers fighters who come at him, like Bivol and Munguia, and that he picks opponents based on their fighting style, not just their record. Hearn also shared his thoughts on his business relationship with Canelo. Despite their ups and downs, he respects Canelo's honesty and his ability to make tough decisions that benefit him. Hearn was asked why a Canelo vs Benavidez fight might not happen soon. "Ego can play a big role in boxing negotiations," Hearn noted. Canelo wants to be compensated appropriately for such a fight.
Because I know Saul will fight anybody, but he also knows that that's a big fight, and it is a massive fight. It's one of the biggest in boxing.
Analysts have raised concerns about Canelo facing Benavidez, especially since Benavidez is now competing at 175 pounds. Without a recovery clause, Benavidez would be the bigger man in the ring.
Pay Saul the right money, he will take the fight. Whether that's one.
Hearn also shared his thoughts on the future of boxing, with big fights like Bivol vs Benavidez looming on the horizon. "There are big fights out there, and we'll see what happens next."
Look, Benavidez moved to 175. For some, not my business as to why that didn't happen, but other than that fight, tell me who else Canelo should have fought in September. He's got 2 mandatories. William